Good morning and good afternoon, everybody, wherever you are. It's just around 10 o'clock or so right now in Denver, Mountain Time. We are broadcasting from the new global headquarters here on the 6th floor in Denver, Colorado, down in the Denver Tech Center. I'm glad you all could join our webinar today for the Certified Private Wealth Advisor certification. We're going to start off here in a little bit. Just wait for a few seconds here to get people online. So let's get started here. Hi, I'm Gray Bullard. I'm an enrollment counselor here at the Investments and Wealth Institute. I'm also joined on the call by my colleague, Carrie Estes. She'll be available as well. The both of us will be available. We'll share our contact info at the end of the presentation. And just so you know that all lines are muted. Any questions you have, we want to make this as interactive as possible. Please type any questions you have in the Q&A box there. We'll answer all the questions at the end of the presentation. This webinar is being recorded, and we'll send a copy of this to you all in a link to the email that you provided in the registration. There are no CE hours on this. This is purely for prospecting only. So please, let us know if you have any questions as we go through, and we'll answer those questions as we continue with the presentation. So just want to talk a little bit about who we are. We're the Investment and Wealth Institute. We're the administrative governing board of certifications. One, the Certified Private Wealth Advisor, the Certified Investment Management Analyst, the CMA program, and also the RMA, the Retirement Management Advisor Program. And our mission is to deliver premier investment consulting and wealth management credentials and education. So this is a little bit of an illustration here on our ecosystem, everything that we offer here at the Institute. We have a number of conferences throughout the year. Our next conference is our ACE Academy, which will be down in Nashville, Tennessee, mid-May. I'll have to get the dates right, May 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th. We also do provide a number of publishing as well, a magazine, the Investments and Wealth Monitor, and our three main designations, which I just spoke about, the CMA, CPWA, and the RMA certification. We have a number of certificates here, over 11,000 certificates that have those certifications, and a great opportunity for you to network as well. So I just wanted to give a little bit of an overview of the three certifications that we offer and how we compare them to some of the other designations that you might know in the industry. So the CPWA, which we're going to talk about today, that is for financial planners, related advisors who work with high net worth clients. Okay, what does high net worth mean? Well, we tend to put that in a bucket of 5 million and above of assets. So it's advanced wealth management and planning strategies for high net worth individuals, asset protection, and a big part of that is tax and estate planning is the curriculum you'll see will cover. Also legacy planning, charitable planning as well for families and estates. The program's around 7 months long. You'll see compared to the others, a little bit shorter than some of the others. It's the work experience we do require a carrier certification. The marks after your name is 5 years. Now, can you start the program with less than 5 years of experience? Yes, of course you can, but in order to carry those marks, we really need those 5 years of experience to complete that. There's only one exam that you take at the end of the executive education, and that you can take online or you can take in person as well. There is an education requirement, as I've discussed, and you'll need to renew your certification every 2 years. You'll have a membership with us, and you'll also have to do the recertification every 2 years, and we can get into that a little bit later. And that compared to the other certifications, the CMA is 2 years as well, but the CFP and the CFA you do renew after a year. So let's move on to the next slide here. So I want to talk a little bit about the program here and get into some of the reasons really why you'd want to earn your certification. These are the 5 reasons that we talk about. Relevant content. Really, that's one of the big reasons why advisors do the certification. And this is information that we get from advisors. This isn't something that we just make up. We survey our advisors and they provide us with feedback. Number two is that competitive differentiation when you get your CPWA certification. So these are things that that really help you stand out as an advisors, and you become higher, compensated a little bit higher at your firm. Not every firm has a CPWA out there, so this will help differentiate you a little bit. It'll give you more confidence with your clients, and also we do partner with Chicago Booth, which is now #1 business school in the country, and Yale School of Management, which is also one of the top business schools in the country as well, an Ivy League education. And you will get expert instruction from those faculty members as well and practitioners. So this is the who, what, where, why, and when of the CPWA certification. Who's it for? Like I've discussed, financial advisors that manage high net worth clients. What is it? It's an advanced certification for professionals who seek those knowledge and techniques to address sophisticated needs of clients with a minimum net worth of $5 million. And where? Chicago Booth and Yale University. Those are the two partners that we work with to provide you with that education. And why? What I've just mentioned, those 5 reasons: the content, the differentiation, higher comp, and confidence and expert instruction. And when? Well, start right now. If you have that, those years of experience, undergraduate education, you can apply now and get really, roll up your sleeves and start studying for the exam. So this is our core body of knowledge. I want to talk a little bit about the curriculum. There are 4 pillars to the curriculum. Number 1 is that bucket, the human dynamics. What does that encompass? Well, 3 things: ethics, number 1, behavioral finance, and family dynamics. Those are the 3 areas that you're going to study, and those will be the 3 modules that you'll work through while you're going through your self-study period to work through those to complete that human dynamics. The next, wealth management and technical design. You're going to spend basically a third of your time, a little bit more than a third of your time on that. So a lot of, a third of that's going to be covered in the exam there. And that includes taxes, portfolio management, risk management, and asset protection. That's a big, obviously a big chunk of the exam. Next, legacy issues. That's going to be about a quarter of the time that you spend, right? Charitable giving and endowments, estate issues, wealth transfer. So moving wealth from where where it currently sits in your on your balance sheet to maybe transferring to trusts, building out a charitable remainder annuity trust or a charitable gift annuity for a charity that you're thinking about, a school, a church, a specific charity that you want to be part of as well. And then finally, you're going to spend about 30% on specialty client services. And what does that mean? Well, a lot of high net worth clients are executives or maybe have closely held business owners, right? So if they have incentive stock options, or if they have non-qualified stock options with certain companies, not all compensation is based on just a salary, right? You're awarded with executive compensation. So you'll do an analysis of that and how to work with clients on being able to manage when you should possibly sell some of your stock options that you have as a closely held business owner. And finally, retirement management. Well, that's one of the most important pieces, because as you move toward retirement, what type of vehicles are you going to start thinking about investing in, right? Brokerage accounts, IRAs, things like, education for your children, right? Investing in certain vehicles like that. So that's sort of the main curriculum. That's how it will be broken out during the exam. I actually just went through the CPWA material myself, went to the Chicago Booth class and spent a week in Chicago to do that. And, all these topics are thoroughly covered, and you'll go through each one of them as you go through the executive education component. So I just wanted to get into the education providers a little bit more here. These are the 2 side by side. So as long as you can understand sort of the differences here, that's what I really wanted to highlight. Number 1, Yale School of Management and the costs are the same. Yale is 100% online, 100% virtual. So you'll go through their specific curriculum, And that's continuous enrollment. You can enroll anytime. There's no specific class time to do that. You have 100% flexibility, which is great for many people that want to go through that program. Chicago Booth, the big difference there is 90% self-study like Yale, but you'll also have 10% in person. So what does that mean? It's a 4.5 day in-person class in Chicago at their wonderful business school downtown Chicago there at the Gleacher Center. I've also provided some upcoming classes. The next class is next March. So you would start studying basically in September of this year and then finish up with the class in next March. And then we have June and September of 2023, so on and so forth here. We also have test prep. It's included with Yale. They have their own form of test prep. But if you'd like to do the Chicago Booth class, we have the accelerator pack, we call it. That's an extra $595. That will include unlimited test retakes. So if you don't pass the first time, you would be able to take the second exam with no cost. We also have all the materials printed out and provided for you and sent to you prior to the class starting in the self-study. And also some test prep material, which is fantastic as part of the accelerator pack. So let's move on here a little bit to the classes. As I've mentioned, a Yale 100% virtual, no in-person class. And again, CPWA for Chicago Booth, 4.5 day in-person and self-study. And finally, these are just some dates here. The application deadline for that next class is September 1st, 2022. So, we understand the cost of executive education and a first-tier executive education. We have 3 categories of tuition assistance. If this is something that you might qualify for, please apply for the scholarship first, so we can put you through those qualification. We would review your application first. And then once you would receive notification whether you've received that or not, you can then go ahead and enroll in the CPWA certification. So if you qualify for any of these 3 categories, and if you have any questions on any or all of this, please contact me or Carrie. We'd be happy to walk you through the Diversity, Women, and Wealth, and the Center for RIA Excellence, basically independent RIA. So this is the application process. Somewhat straightforward. Please review that scholarship and then submit an application, and you would pass that comprehensive background check. Complete the executive education program, right, through Yale or Chicago Booth. You just pass the exam, and then the second background check and compliance disclosure, and there you go. You're certified. Very straightforward program. So these are some of the requirements for the CPWA. Number 1, that I mentioned, that 5 years of experience. Number 2, we do have a background check that's part of the application process. So that's the ethics part, and of course the education, Yale or Chicago Booth, and then the exam. Just pass the comprehensive exam, and then you're all set. You would hear back from us, and then you would finally pay that certification fee. And then you would have your CPWA. So this is a little bit on the exam that I think is important to talk about here. So the exam is 135 multiple choice questions, 125 are scored. It's a 4-hour long exam, and you can do it through 2 options here: Pearson VUE, which is an in-person testing center, or you can do it through ProctorU and do it at your home with a camera. And there are certain calculators that you're allowed to use. There's the HP 10B. The HP calculator is a very common one. You also are allowed to use a Texas Instrument one. That's the business analyst calculator. And then they also have the Plus Professional and the BA2 Plus Business Analyst. So those are calculators that you are allowed to use. You can't obviously have your cell phone. And, a lot of advisors ask, how long should I study and how much time should I spend during the week studying? Well, we say between 100 and 250 hours. That's a big range, right? So, what's your background? Do you have financial analysis background? Do you come from more, not more of a financial background? It may take a little bit more for you to understand some of the terms, to get through those concepts, but all very doable, certainly, no matter what your background is as an advisor. And so again, this is our onboarding team here. So as I mentioned, please take a snapshot of this. This is our contact info. My number there, 303-529-3704, and Carrie, of course, 529-3823. Please reach out to us, and we can answer all those questions. If we feel as though we want to include Mike, our director of programs, who does have a SEMA CPWA as well, we can bring him in as well in the conversation. Please feel free to reach out to him. So three great resources here for you to connect with and talk more about the CPWA, the curriculum, the cost, and the time and things to get through it. So let's see here. Let's move on to questions. I just wanted to open it up here, the questions here, and I'll pull up some more information here.
Looks like we had one that came in, Gray, asking about the certification fee. I think referencing step 4 of that final process.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I see it here. Okay, what is the certification fee? Thanks. So, the costs are all in $7,200. And then at the end, once you are certified, once you pass the exam, I believe that's $395. That's that final fee that you'll pay to become certified. And then that will cover you for those 2 years. And here, great. We have some questions coming in here. Is the CPWA Accelerator available to Yale enrollees? So the Accelerator Pack is available to a Chicago booth because Yale has their own form of test prep. So, they really pride themselves on having their own form of test preparation. So you would go through their program for the test prep.
Just to mention, as with that, you of course would still have access to, if you chose to purchase the Accelerator Pack. If you wanted that on top of what Yale offers, it's not required by any means. You will receive test prep, to Gray's point. But you can, of course, it's available to any CPWA candidate, regardless of your program.
Right.
Question about thoughts completing the CPWA prior to the CFP or along with the CFP. Any thoughts on that, Gray?
Yeah, let me see that question here. I see. Which particular question are you?
Someone asked, any thoughts on completing the CPWA prior to or subsequent to the CFP?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, I think the CFP is a little bit more broad-based, more mass affluent market. The CPWA focuses a little bit more on high net worth clients. So if you feel as if you're at your career where you want to focus on those high net worth book of business, I would certainly recommend doing the CPWA first. But like I said, the CFP is more of a broad-based mass affluent market. So it just depends on where you are in your career and where you would like to educate yourself next. And some of the other questions I saw coming in now. So what kind of calculations would require an HP calculator? Time value of money. That would be the big one. So future value, present value, if you're looking at a number of payments that you would need to make over a 5-year period to get to a present value, that would certainly require a business calculator in some of those questions. So let's see, can the Yale online course be started at any point? Are there certain times the exam can be taken? You can start Yale at any time. That's continuous enrollment. You're not required to sit for an in-person or even a virtual class. It's done at your own pace. So you can also take that exam at any time, just like you can take the Chicago booth. The CPWA is separate and distinct from the actual executive education component. But yeah, those are great questions. I put the slide up here. I hope you all can see the costs and the differences between the two, Chicago booth and Yale School of Management. I put that up there, the costs. Be happy to share any other slides that you'd like to see. We can You will receive a recording of this. So all the slides will be provided in the email that you've registered with as well. So please be aware of that as well.
A question came in about Chicago booth course. Can you start this year? She only sees the one class, or excuse me, they only see the one class starting March of 2023. Can you speak to some class options?
Oh, sure. Can you see, I'll see the slide that I have up now with the three classes that are coming up next year.
No, we're still only seeing the PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, but you see the education providers there? And that has.
Oh, I see. Yep. And the upcoming classes. Yep. So.
Yeah. So upcoming classes here would be March 29th, March 19th through the 23rd, and then June 11th through the 15th, 2023, and then September 10th through the 14th of 2023.
I think some of the confusion lies in the fact that those are the in-person executive education dates for Chicago booth. So the program itself actually starts 6 months prior to that. So for example, the March 19th through 23rd is the in-class Chicago booth class. It actually pre-study starts in September. So you would need to enroll before that or on that September 1st deadline. And then the class kicks off in September, and you would pre-study up until you attend in person March 19th through the 23rd. So all of the class dates that you're seeing are set up that way. So the June class starts in January of 2023 with the pre-study. September will start in March of 2023 with the pre-study leading up to September. Good. If you have any questions about those dates and what that would look like for you, scheduling that out, please again reach out to Gray or myself.
Yeah, and let's look at the other. So that is the March 2023 class, which you would start studying for this September. So the registration deadline for that for this year is September 1st of 2022, and then you start studying.
Another question came in about pass rates for CPWA.
Yeah, pass rates right now are around 84%. So, and then you also track those rates for those enrolled in the accelerator program, how that compares to those that do not participate in the accelerator program. So by accelerator program, I think you may be talking about the accelerator pack. No, we don't really compare those. The 84% is on average. Really, it's on average across all of the programs, whether you get the accelerator pack or not. That's our average rate.
Same with the two class options. That's a common question from advisors is, do we differentiate between program provider and exam pass rates? And we do not.
Right. Okay.
Another question came in about CPWA certificates, how many we have?
I think we're just shy of 3,000 now. I think we're around 27 or 2,800. We have over 11,000 certificates, just around, I think we're almost at 8,000 CMAs and a few hundred RMAs. As we may have described a little bit, the CMA is one of our oldest designations here. It's just over 30 years or so old. The CPWA is 10 and 15 years old. So the RMA we just acquired a few years ago. So makes sense in terms of why we have skewed sort of different number of CMAs versus CPWAs and RMAs.
Question here about the costs due prior to starting the program. So at time of application, payment is due in full. So that $72.95 that you see pulled up there for both Yale or Chicago is due at the time of application.
Yep. So yeah, if you don't pass the first time, there's a question here. If you don't pass, what's the retake fee? With the accelerator pack, that is included. If you don't do the accelerator pack, it's $200, $295, I think is the total cost.
I believe retake is
$225, yeah.
And you do have to wait 30 days in between your retake fee or in between your retake exam. However, you can take the exam as many times as you need to be successful.
Okay. So if you have a
question, yep, about $395 certification fees due every 2 years as well. So every 2 years, we require 40 hours of continuing education, and there is an $895 renewal fee over every 2 years.
And yeah, I think, yeah, the entire education cost. So the $7,200 is due when you start the program. That is an upfront cost.
Yep, at the time of application. So just keep that in mind when you're applying, that you will need to be prepared to make that payment in full at that time. Excellent. Some really great questions.
Yeah.
Question here about communicating the CPWA certification to prospects. We are CPWA is a younger designation. It's our fastest growing certification. We provide marketing materials for CPWA certificants once they earn their certification for you to provide to prospects and current clients, speaking to why the CPWA is relevant to them, all of the education you earned going through the program. So we have some really great prospecting tools available to you once you become CPWA certified. All right. Great questions today.
Stay on here for more questions. There's the $895 certification renewal. So that $895, there are membership tiers here. We have 3 tiers: basic, signature, and elite. Okay. So the basic membership is $895 every 2 years. That covers membership and recertification. So if you want to do a signature and elite, which are terrific membership tiers as well, you'll be able to get a little bit of a discount to online material, CE, things like that. That's explained on our website as well in the membership section. I wonder if I could bring that up. I don't have a slide on that right now, but I'll send a link in the chat here with our membership tiers. That might help. If you all get that. That's in the chat box, not in the Q&A. Okay. So I'm looking, did you answer the CPWA certifications only 3,000 adoption rate?
Yep, we covered that, highlighting the resources we provide once you become CPWA certified, some marketing materials that really help you spread the word about why high net worth clients should work with you, what the CPWA means to them. And we would be happy to pass along an example of some of those marketing materials. So please feel free to contact us offline, and we'd be happy to pass those along. And then real quick here again, the recert fee is every 2 years. Is it $895 or $395? Every 2 years, renewal fee is $895. That covers the recertification fees as well as that basic membership fee for a 2-year period.
Correct. All right, well, let's stay on another minute here for some more questions. We're just almost at time here. If you have any further questions, please put them in. And again, I'll take you to our contact info if you can see that. Take a screenshot of this. You'll find our contact information on the website as well. Yeah, if that is it, I think we will, we have one more here. What does the Institute do to increase consumer recognition of the CPWA beyond marketing materials? Well, we have a number of advertisements in Barron's Magazine. We're featured in Barron's Magazine quite regularly. We have conferences all over the country. Those are 2 pretty big things that we tend to, and a lot of this is peer-to-peer. A lot of advisors tend to recommend the programs. We get a lot of referral type conversations from advisors. We continue to grow the certifications and the education across the country. And the SEMA is a globally recognized certification. CPWA is more U.S. tax based, so it's more domiciled in the U.S. But we tend to do a little bit of that marketing as well. That's a great question. Thank you. Okay, we're just at 10:30, so please, again, reach out to me or Carrie. We'd love to talk to you going forward. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Excellent. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.